Kinder friends! Happy Monday and happy fourth week of distance learning. In this video today, we're going to be talking about all of our subjects, which include our core subjects, reading, writing, and math, and our additional subjects like social studies, STEM, gym, art, health, and music. Remember, families, don't stress about all this homework. Do what you can. Make a schedule to help you figure out what you're going to get accomplished each day, and only try to work 1 to 2 hours a day. We don't want you to overwork yourself, especially here in the beginning of the week. So let's get started with reading. In reading this week, we're starting a new story. It's called Go Away, Lily. But first, let's look at some vocab. Our first new word is upset. When you're feeling upset, you might be unhappy or worried. Our next word is ate, not the number 8. Ate like I ate soup for lunch. And our next word, you can read this word read, or you can read this word read. In our story today, we're going to say the word read, like I read a book yesterday. Now you can find your story in a couple different places. You can find it in your packet. You should have a paper version of the story in your packet. Or you can go to our classroom website and read the story along with me. You can find it on the read along videos part of our website. So there should be a little drop down spot that you can click on it, or on the main page for distance learning, there's a little button that says read along videos. Or if you don't want to listen to me read the story, you can listen to another teacher read it. Before you start, make sure you predict what the story is going to be about. It's called Go Away, Lily. I wonder what it's going to be about. When you're done with your Go Away, Lily reading today, we're learning a new sight word. Our new sight word today is the word your. We spell it like this, Y-O-U-R. Y is a tail letter, O is a short letter, U is a short letter, and R is a short letter. So we're going to write the letters in the boxes and then write the word your 3 times on the line. Then you're going to draw a picture and write a sentence using the word your. And remember, there's also an optional song for you to type in that little code at the bottom into your computer, and it will show you a video using the word your. Now let's take a look at writing. This week, we are going to be writing letters. Our prompt is, I can write a letter that someone can read. Today, your job is to make a list. We're going to make a list of people that you care about that you could write a letter to, like your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, grandma, grandpa, your aunts, your uncle, your cousins, your friends, your teacher. Make a list of all the people that you would want to write a letter to. This week, every day, you're going to write a different letter. So you have 4 different people that you can write a letter to this week. So make a good long list and make sure you hold on to this list because you are going to need it every day. Now let's take a look at math. In math today, we are going to be starting on page 307 in your math book. It looks like this. Your prompt is, write the equation. Okay, friends, do you remember last week when we did this worksheet, the night sky, and you colored your stars? Well, this is kind of the same thing. We're starting out with 10 stars. Each one of those parts has 10 stars, and then we're going to color some of them purple and some of them yellow. Your worksheet already has them already colored for you, but I'm going to color my stars like I did in my worksheet last week. So I have 7 yellow stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellow stars, and 1, 2, 3 purple stars. Now I need to write the equation like my worksheet says. We're going to start our equation with 10 equals. We say that because there are 10 stars in each one of our sections here. So there are 10 stars at the beginning. So we're writing 10 equals, and then I'm going to count how many yellow stars and how many purple stars. I have my yellow stars first, so I'm going to do that one first. I have 7 yellow stars and 3 purple stars. So my equation is 10 equals 7 plus 3. On your worksheet, your purple stars are going to come first. So you're going to write 10 equals, then count the purple stars plus the yellow stars. They already did the first one for you. 10 equals 1 purple star plus 9 yellow stars. Do that for all of the equations. Then the back side, page 308 says, draw circles to show each number. Write the 10 and the ones under the circles. So let's look at this a little bit bigger. Here's the number 11. They already did this one for us. They drew 11 circles. Do you see how on one side they're all filled in and the other side only has one filled in? That's because there's a group of 10 plus one more to make the number 11. So the equation on the bottom shows 10 plus 1. Now let's look at one that's not done yet. 13. I'm going to fill in the whole left side with my circles to make my group of 10, and then I'll have 3 circles on the top. At the bottom, I need to finish that equation. 10 plus 3 to make the number 13. Now, some of them don't have the number 10 at the bottom, so you're going to have to finish the whole equation. 10 plus how many more to make the number 15? You kinder friends are super smart. I bet you'll figure this out really quick. The next part says complete the equations on the bottom. Down here at the bottom, it has our equations for our teen numbers. The first one says 14 equals 10 plus how many? You know what's an easy way to figure this out, friends? Look up at the top. Find the number 14, go down to the bottom, and see what the equation is. 10 plus 4 to make the number 14. If you get done early, kinder friends, there are some optional activities for you to do, but if this worksheet takes you a really long time, don't worry about the optional activities. Those are just in case you want some extra practice. Let's go on to social studies now. This week, remember you don't have to do it today, all week we are going to be talking about maps. This is the page that you should have gotten in your packet, but you also got your social studies books in your bags this week. So you can find this page on page 58, I believe is what number it's supposed to be, page 58 in your social studies book. So you can do it right there instead of doing it in your packet if you don't want to. Here are the prompts that your grown-up or your big brother or sister is going to help you with. Here's some things that they want you to think about. What state do we live in? Ask a grown-up or ask your big brother or sister. I bet you they know. Or maybe you already know what state we live in. Where is that state on the map? I'll give you a hint. It's purple. See if you can find it. The next question is, what city do we live in? We all live in different cities, but a lot of my kinder friends live in the same city. So I bet you can ask your grown-up or big brother and sister to tell you, what city do we live in? And what can we find in our neighborhood? On the right, there's a picture of a neighborhood. What are some things you see in that picture that maybe are in your neighborhood too? Now here is an optional activity that you can do. You can draw a map of the places in your community. Draw a picture of your house, your neighbors. You can draw the restaurants that are in your community. You could draw a school. You could draw a library, the police station, the post office. What are things in your community that you could draw in your picture? So that's our social studies activity. Remember, this doesn't have to all be done in one day. You can spread it out and do it in a couple days if you want to. STEM. This week we are working with the fabric again. You should have gotten another bag of fabric in your bags this week, and we're going to be doing some staining. Most of the time your grown-ups tell you, don't spill ketchup on your clothes, but guess what? Today you get to. So here's what the activity says. It says, find things to stain your fabric like ketchup, mustard, juice or jelly, markers or crayons, or dirt. Step 2 is stain each corner of your fabric. So in the picture, it has ketchups in one corner, looks like mustard's in one corner, dirt's in one corner, and a marker is in one corner. Then it says, let your fabric dry. At the bottom, it wants you to draw what your fabric looks like. So you're going to draw a square and draw what's on your fabric. If you have ketchup, maybe you want to draw something red. If you have a marker, draw what you drew with your marker. Then the next step is cleaning your fabric. But kinder friends, do this a different day. You gotta let your fabric dry, all right? Step 1 for cleaning your fabric is find your stained fabric. Step 2 is wash the fabric in water. Step 3 is wash the fabric with soap. Step 4, scrub your fabric with a brush or a sponge. Step 5, look at your fabric. Are all the stains clean? Then they want you to draw what your fabric looks like when it's clean. Maybe the stains all came out and you just have to draw a white square. Maybe the stains didn't all come out and you have to draw what it looks like now. I'll be interested to see what those look like. Then there's another page for you to go along with the second step. It says, whoops, here we go. Do your journaling. So you can observe which materials stained fabric, right? What happened when you cleaned your fabric? For example, if you had mustard, did it go away with water? Yes or no? Did it go away with soap? Yes or no? Did it go away after you scrubbed it? Yes or no? Did it go away at all? Or maybe it didn't go away? Yes or no? So you're going to go through with each of your things that you put in those four corners and decide, did it go away with water, soap, scrubbing, or maybe it didn't go away at all. Remember, Kinder Friends, Miss Life wants to hear from you. So go ahead and take a picture of you doing all of these activities and send it to her. She would love, love, love to see what you little scientists are doing at home. Now let's look at gym. Gym is the same it's been all the weeks that we've been doing this, Kinder Friends. You've got this 622 PE, kind of a bingo board thing, and you can choose any of those activities to do and write them down in the letter you got from Coach, or you can do some indoor or outside activities. You've got lots of things to choose from. Remember, Go Noodle counts. Write it down. Tell Coach what you're doing too in your email. Send him an email and tell him what is going on with you. He would love to hear from you. Now let's look at art. Oh, I love art. And you know what? This week's going to be so much fun because on Wednesday, it's Earth Day. So this week, we're reusing items from inside or outside to create something new. You could use a cardboard box to make a robot. You could use toilet paper rolls to make binoculars, or paint rocks and sticks and turn them into game pieces for a game you can create with your family. Use something in your house or outside of your house to create something new. That's called recycling. We're going to talk more about that this week, but recycling is something we should do all the time, but especially this week as we celebrate Earth Day. Let's look at health. This week in health, we are going to be discussing healthy food choices. You've got a worksheet that looks like this that says, choose my plate. On your plate, you have 4 different kinds of foods: fruit, vegetables, grains, protein, and then over in your glass, you've got some dairy. Let's talk really quickly about some of these foods, all right? So a fruit could look like this: a grape, pineapple, or apples. You probably have some fruit in your house right now that you could find. Or maybe you have some vegetables. Vegetables are also really, really healthy, like carrots and broccoli and avocados. Those are really yummy vegetables. The next part of our plate is grains like bread and pretzels and bagels. Those are all grains that we might eat. Then in your glass next to your cup, you've got dairy. Cheese and milk and yogurt are all different kinds of dairy. They don't all go in your glass. And then the last one is protein. Eggs, chicken, bacon, those are all really good protein. Some of our friends don't eat meat, and that's okay. Eggs are still protein, and they're really, really good for your body to help you grow healthy and strong. So you've got your choose your plate activity, and then the second one is draw a picture of what your plate looks like. So try to think of something that you could pick from all those different categories. Like cheese, chicken, bread, apple, and broccoli, those all come from each of our categories. Cheese is dairy, chicken is protein, bread is grains, apples is fruit, and broccoli is vegetables. We want to make sure we try to get all 5 of our food groups in our plates for every meal. It's hard sometimes, but do your kindergarten best. Now let's talk about music. This week you've got a new tic-tac board with things tic-tac-toe board with things for you to do this week. Remember, you're trying to do 3 of them in a row. That is kind of the idea here for kindergarten through 2nd grade. You also have your second one here. That is some additional things for you to do if you just can't get enough of that music. And remember, Miss Bennell misses you so much, and she wants you guys to email her and tell her all the fun things you guys are doing with music. Send her a video, send her a picture, or just send a little message saying hi. All right, Kinder Friends, remember, don't stress about all this work this week. Do what you can, take lots of breaks, Remember, you are smart. Happy Monday, Kinder friends. Have a wonderful week.